This is being recorded. So thank you guys so much for coming today. Today we're going to be talking about how to make some faster money. And I don't say it's like immediate money because sometimes it does take a little bit longer for these OP invoices to be paid. They tend to do it in about a month or so. So again, you don't have to wait too long. But we're going to talk about generally open listings and specifically how to use Renthop to make some money. And again, for anyone who's newer to the business, anyone who's saying, hey, these buyers are taking too long to buy something, I need to make some money right now. There is a slight investment up front, but it tends to pay itself off pretty well as long as you're willing to put in the legwork. And again, what you're really devoting is time rather than money to kind of make this work. So what are open listings, right? Let's start from the beginning. So open listings are listings that no company or agent is giving the exclusive on. They are technically an exclusive, right? Because the owner or the management company has the exclusive on that listing. But these owners are willing to take anyone who kind of comes in with a client to rent the apartment, right? So usually these landlords will distribute by email lists, websites, and things like that. Sorry, excuse me for 1 second. I'm going to pause the recording. Okay, so these are things that cannot be advertised on StreetEasy, right? That's one of the most important distinctions. We don't have the right to advertise them on StreetEasy. StreetEasy is meant to be for exclusive listings, and the owners often advertise them themselves. Sometimes they do give agents the ability to advertise on their behalf on StreetEasy, but usually that only happens once you've built a relationship, right? As an example, a couple agents in both offices have built up relationships with management companies by doing a number of rentals. And those management companies have given them the ability to advertise some of their listings on StreetEasy. And again, it's a nice way if you have that ability, you can kind of get the rentals done often quickly and things like that, and maybe show them other properties as well. What we can do with these is we can, advertise them on third-party sites to get clients and to specifically try to rent that apartment. And so we're going to kind of go through what the process is step by step for doing this. Again, an owner pays is an important term to understand, right? There's a lot of terms that are thrown out with rental listings and things like that. A no fee listing, an owner pays listing, an exclusive, an open listing and things like that. So specifically what we want to look for are what we call OPs or owner pays. And that is when a management company or owner is willing to pay the fee to whoever brings the tenant who is qualified and signs the lease for the apartment. Oftentimes, and again, in this market, most of these landlords who are paying an OP are paying a 1-month fee. And usually it's paid 30 days after the tenant moves in. Again, some of the agents can tell you some people pay the day of lease signing, which is great. Sometimes they take 2 to 3 months to get to us. So there's a wide range of this, but on average, I would say we get paid within a month or so. These days, especially given what's going on, some buildings are actually paying more, right? And one of the agents down here in Soho has been focusing on a building that is paying 1.5 months. And so every time they do a deal, they're getting 1.5 times the rent. Some of them are even paying 2 months. And again, it's a great way. Again, if you are looking for more business, this is a way that we have been seeing. And again, between I'd say about 6 agents who are focusing on this, we've done a lot of deals over the last month or so. So these OP listings can be advertised as no fee listings since we are getting the fee from the owner. And as you go through Renthop, and again, when we get to that point, you'll see that those are the listings that are really going to get the most traction. And again, this allows us to post them on these different websites, and what websites you want to use is totally up to you. I'm just giving you an example of one that has been working on Renthop, Craigslist, Facebook, to get clients, show them, and hopefully to rent them and collect the fee. So there are a number of different places to find open listings and OP listings. And again, in this market, given how bad it is, I would say, or how kind of much traction there is, right? Rental prices are falling. There are a ton of buildings who are paying us the fee because they want to fill these units. And if we can help them find tenants to fill these units, they're going to pay us. OLR is one way, and I'm going to show you guys the easiest way for that. Management company websites are another way. And again, there are hundreds, if not thousands of these landlords out there. And signing up for eBlast or Nestio feeds. And again, we'll kind of talk about all these things shortly. So in OLR, and this is what I think is the easiest place to find them, you can do a rental search, right? And what I say is pick a neighborhood, because the best thing to do is figure out all of the open listing landlords in that neighborhood. So if you show one thing, it doesn't work for them, you can say, hey, let's go see X, Y, and Z afterwards, right? Because you want to convert this client. So pick one neighborhood or two neighborhoods. And again, not every neighborhood has a lot of these OP listings, right? I would say they tend to be in buildings with a lot of high rises because of the higher vacancies. That's not to say, there's a company called 9300. They have tons of like low rise buildings all across the East Village, West Village, Chelsea, Midtown East. There are many of these. Some of the larger companies, Rock Rose, TF Cornerstone, Glenwood, they're paying OPs and things like that. And what we do is under concessions, and again, I'll show you guys this on the next page. You want to check off owner pays, and under listing source type, you want to check off open listings only. So again, this didn't come out well, but I did a screenshot. So again, under here, once you're in the OLR rental search, and I'll do this live in a second, you want to pick your neighborhood. I always do a rent range of I tend to do $1,000 to $5,000 and just keep it at studio so you can get a sense of what's out there. Here under concessions, we want to check off owner pays. And here under listing source type, we want to hit open listings, right? Because this should filter out anyone. Again, I have a listing that's an exclusive, but the owner's paying an OP on it in Williamsburg. And so you would not want to advertise that, right? We are only advertising the ones that are coming directly from the management companies that are the open listings. I'm going to close this for a second and go into OLR. I have OLR somewhere. You guys can still see my screen? Right, awesome, okay. So again, in OLR, you just want to go under search, listings, pick your borough. I'm gonna go to rentals in Manhattan. I'm gonna pick a neighborhood. Again, there are a lot in Chelsea. I tend to pick that just because it's the easiest one to show some, and put a price range. And again, 1,000 to 5,000 is usually pretty good. Concessions, owner pays, open listings only, right? And I'm gonna run the search. And apologies for my slow internet today. The slow internet at the office. Again, I keep the range open just so I can start getting a sense of the market and what's out there. As you do these searches in different neighborhoods, you'll kind of get a sense of what is out there and what gets the most traction, right? And so this, like all kind of more open advertising and things like that, you kind of have to feel out what works for you and what's kind of going on. So here we are. So there's 53 OP apartments between $1 and $5,000 in Chelsea. So this is going to automatically sort it from the most expensive down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch that because I want the cheapest, right? Let's start from the bottom and go up because you tend to get the most hits on things that are inexpensive and things that are kind of unique, I would say. So here we go. Look at this, $22.95 for a 1-bedroom in Chelsea in an elevator building, right? That's pretty good, right? I mean, I can't tell you the last time I've seen something like that, and this is probably the only time it's been something like this. So Manhattan Skyline is a management company. Again, they're paying an OP of 1 month, which again, we knew that they're going to be paying an OP because we clicked on it. They have some photos in here, and again, they don't have that much, but again, you can advertise a big Chelsea 1-bedroom for $22.95. That's a great thing, and no fee, right? We'll talk about it when we go to the Renthop webpage, what to do, but it doesn't matter that there's not much on here, right? And what you don't want to do is you don't want to just cut and paste this description, right? You want to try to get a sense of the building and see if you can go see it. See if you can take pictures. Again, if you can always go over here to the company website, and this might give us some photos and things like that. So here are some examples of the photos. You can always ask them about floor plans and things like that. Again, there's more description here. I always say keep it simple, right? When you're going in and writing the description, keep it simple. So again, now there's a $22.95 thing that you can advertise on Renthop or any of these websites. And again, you'll go through this. You'll see there are certain management companies that have a lot of buildings. There's certain ones that have expensive places, cheap places. And again, you need to figure out what works for you and what you want to advertise. What I always tell people is don't advertise the most expensive thing, right? I'd rather advertise a very cheap one and then see if their price range can go up. So again, there's tons of places in here, and pick your neighborhood, pick whatever neighborhood you want to focus on, but get to know these buildings. So the next thing that you can do is you can also start to contact these management companies and ask them to get a list of all their availabilities, right? Hey, I'm a broker. I work in the neighborhood. I wanted to see what you have available and stuff like that. And so you can just email them through here and say that, right? And they usually give the incentives. If they're giving 2 months free on a 15-month lease and a 1-month OP, that's great. Like you can't beat that. And I mean, this is the best market to be a renter in I've ever seen in New York City. So can we go back to here? So again, you find these landlords and ask to be added to the distribution list. I have one, and again, I will send it to all of you guys with about 50 landlords in New York City. Many of them are open landlords, or all of them are open landlords. Many of them are paying an OP, not all of them are. But what you can do is you can sign up for these e-blast lists. I just got a bunch of them. And so again, you'll get these emails that come through every day. And so these are just a couple that I'm signed up for. Westminster City Living. I only have one availability. Let me find one more. Broad Street Development. They've got, look, they're offering 3.75 months free. It's crazy, right? It's crazy what people are offering these days. Let's see, Gateway Battery Park City. Again, and usually we'll say if they're offering an OP and stuff like that in here as well. You can also reach out to the management companies. All of these will have contact information in them. So go back here. And what you have to think is that a lot of this is legwork, right? If there was just a list where you could go and find these all, everyone would be doing this, right? Because it'd be so easy. So a lot of this is you and finding buildings that you want to advertise, management companies you can work with. Again, one of the agents in the Soho office has been doing this, showing one management company's property, and then they allowed her to advertise that on StreetEasy, right? So you build a relationship by helping and renting apartments. So it does take some traction, right? Kind of like everything else in real estate, it's a very exponential curve. And what it takes is starting and showing these properties and going out, finding landlords, putting in the time at the beginning. So again, when you find the results, look for the best things, right? Inexpensive at each size level: studio, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom. If you can find like a 3 bedroom for under 3,000, right? You're probably going to get a lot of calls on it. Places with additional free rent, again, like the one that was offering 3.75 months, you can put that in the description, free rent. Additional incentives, some of them have reduced security, outdoor space, character, charm, size. Maybe it's a huge 1 bedroom, maybe it has no light whatsoever, but it's like 800 square feet for $2,400. You're going to find someone who probably wants that because they want a big place. So again, what do you do? So now you've got all this inventory, right? You've got all this information. Maybe you've gone to see some of the management companies let you go and preview and take pictures. Usually the ones that are more with like an on-site leasing, you have to bring your client with you. But again, you can usually find pictures in the databases and things like that. The next step is that you need to put them somewhere, right? You need to take this information, put it where the public can see it. So these are 4 examples. Again, there are like millions of them out there. The one thing, again, to remember is you cannot put these on StreetEasy, right? Because these are not your exclusive listings. So what we do is we put them on Renthop, Craigslist, Facebook, Instagram. On Facebook and Instagram, you can kind of boost them and stuff like that to try to get people, Renthop is the one that I've found and that agents have found is the best results. And we're going to kind of go through that one in depth more. Again, you can kind of, you can figure out the other ones on your own. We can talk about it individually, but Renthop is where the money is right now. So again, Renthop is not free, right? You have to sign up for an account. You can cancel it after the first month. I don't work for Renthop. I don't get any kickbacks or anything like that. But again, from all the websites, we get pitched all these ones all the time. There used to be one called Naked Apartments, which StreetEasy bought. We used to do a lot of rentals on that. Renthop is kind of where it is to get clients these days for rentals. So basically, you get credits, and by using the credits, you post ads and things like that. Again, it starts off at about $69 a month, and then you can buy more credits. Goes up to $200 a month. Again, if you're just starting, start at the easiest level, right? That's what most of the agents are using. But if you find yourself really doing this and making money off it, maybe you go to the other ones because the credits become cheaper. So I'm going to go over. I'm just going to kind of show you guys what Renthop looks like. And one of the agents was very nice, Christine, to let me kind of use her account to kind of show you how she does it and things like that. So what Renthop is for agents, and again, it's just renthop.com. It's a platform to post these open listings. And for people to come look for listings, look for no fee, especially listings and things like that, or rooms, and to be able to take them out. So what you can do in Renthop is you can post listings, right? And so let's just pretend you didn't have anything. You go to a new listing. So again, the exact address is just for your reference, right? And so if you're taking one of these ones from OLR, let's just say it's 222 West 21st Street, right? And the unit 3E, it's going to display this. Again, what is it? So 1 bedroom, convertible, how many bathrooms, 4 bathroom, what the monthly rent is, reduced fee, no fee, what the square footage is if you have it, when it's available, and a description, right? And so the most important thing is that when you're writing a description, you want to be punchy and you don't cut and paste what's online, right? Like just describe it, right? Great 1 bedroom, huge space, lots of light. That's it, right? No fee. Make sure you're putting no fee in there. And again, up here, you're going to check off no fee as well. Don't cut and paste. You talk about when you can show it. If you're doing a live video tour, if it's short term is allowed, any unit features and things like that, apartment features, if you want to list them, open houses. Again, if you're going to be showing it, you can put up an open house. And some of these buildings allow us to keep the keys overnight. So maybe you could do an open house and things like that, and photos and floor plans. So you advertise them and you put them here, right? So where do you get the advertisement photos, right? Either A, you go take them, B, take a neighborhood photo, C, you can get them off the management company's websites. And a lot of the management companies allow us to do this, right? They like this because we're bringing clients in for their properties. So you can find these all over the place. And I'm just going to show you. Go back. So again, Christine has a number of listings put up here. Again, it will give you a score. The biggest thing about Renthop is you need to update it pretty frequently. So 10 Jones, I think, is if I remember correctly, this is a 9,300 listing. Some of these are her exclusive listings, but again, you need to put up a number of listings, when you can schedule it, put up all the days, because you want to show it as soon as you can, whenever you can. And so what will happen is people will respond, right? And they're not going to respond to every ad you put up. If I go over to messages, again, people are responding, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. She got 4 clients yesterday from this website, right? She was gone for a couple days, but look, on Thursday, Friday, she's getting responses of people. And these people aren't all going to work out, right? But you are getting people to work with. Potentially people will work out. Again, I think it's all about the numbers, right? You need to be out with a number of people to get a deal done. Some of you are working with buyers right now, right? And some of you are probably super frustrated because you take some people out, they flake out. You take some people out, I'm going to wait a couple months, but then you take someone out and boom, they buy something. So you get to that point, and it does take some time. Let me go back. Oops. Go back to this. So again, what's the next step, right? You post it, you get these people, take them out, right? Respond to them right away. If you can't show that day or the next day, find someone who can and kind of work together to do it. Follow up with these people. Again, any questions about the documentation, what they have to do, right? This isn't your exclusive. There's someone else who's going to do all the back end work for you, which is one of the great things, right? So you probably have to help the tenant, fill out the documentation and submit it to the management, but they're going to tell you, this is the application, this is what you need. When I'm reaching out to management companies and things like that, what I'm doing is I am telling them about the, what I need and asking them, hey, can you send me your application? I always like to have it ready. That way, if you show something like, I want this, boom, you have it, you have them apply right away. Once everything is done, again, we've got the rental worksheet, all the documentation I need, and I'll send out the OP invoice. And again, usually we get paid within 30 days of the close. So it's usually fairly quick. Again, some management companies are now advertising because they're so desperate. We will pay you, lease signing a week after or something like that. So again, what I always want to kind of do the cost benefit analysis of this. Oops, something happened here. Hold on a second. There we go. Okay. So again, let's say, what's the cost benefit analysis here, right? So there is an investment. This is not something that's just done for free. But if you're paying for 2 months of Renthop, right, that's going to be $140 at the lowest. lowest level. If you do one rental, right? So a cheap rental with a $2,000 OP, even if you're at your first two deals and at the intro split, you're walking away with $1,000, right? So $1,000 minus the $140, $860. So your return is 614%, right? Not a bad return on investment. I think, it is time. So I'm not calculating the value of your time, which for all of us is very important. And if you think about it, some agents do multiple deals a month, right? I think we've had an agent who did 12 deals in 1 month, right? And paying for $70. So think of those numbers and where they are. The best part of this versus, let's say, White Lead Network, no referral fees due, right? This is yours. You're generating these leads, you're taking them out, and what you're doing is you're building your business. Because if you do one or two or three rentals with a certain management company, oftentimes they'll tell you about units before they come up, right? You get into a relationship with them. A few of the agents who've been doing this over time, and again, maybe it's not within your first 2 or 3 months, but maybe it's within the first 6 months or the year, have started getting some exclusive listings or getting listings before they're on the market so they could advertise them and get them rented out. Again, this is a great way to build your business. And it's something that, again, it does cost a little bit of money. I'm not saying it doesn't, but you can get a great return from it. And this is a little bit more immediate, right? And so my goal for you guys is to help you find ways to make money right now, because I know we all have rent to pay, we have bills to pay and things like that. And as you're doing this, then we can kind of transition more into doing sales if you haven't done them before, or to doing other things that are going to make you some more money, because again, that's where you make the real money in real estate. So that is it for me. I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to stop the video, and I'm going to open it up